What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Nerdy Volume Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about probably one of my top 5 favorite animes. How about you?
It's definitely up there, man. It's great.
And definitely top 3 best drawn animes / mangas.
Hands down.
For sure.
Hands down.
Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle. Written by Kotoge Koyoharu.
Perfect.
So, as always, sit back, relax, and turn it to 11.
All right, y'all. It is that time. You know, I know it's already October, and you know, we're talking about a movie that came out beginning of September 12th, right?
Did it really?
I believe so.
Man, the time is flying by. I felt like I just watched it.
You know what? To be honest, yeah, so did I. Because I'm like, it was just last month, but I felt like I've done so much since then, you know? I mean, whatever the case is, yeah, it came out in the beginning of September, like maybe the second week of September. And let me tell you, dude, the response from the movie has been incredible. Like, I've already finished the manga, right? And I already know what's going to happen. However, like, I don't know what it's going to look like animated. And so far, I'm extremely impressed. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like panel for panel. You know, when you read a manga, it's not exactly that, which is great. At least have most of the panels up there, though. You know what I mean? Like, out of the 3,000 panels they got, you know, at least have maybe 1,500 of them.
So, okay, because unlike I don't usually read the mangas because I've learned from reading books that you should never read what you're going to watch because it just disappoints you later. But that being said, how accurate or how similar is the mangas to the anime? Like story based. Do they put most of the information in there, or are they butchering it?
Yeah, most of the time. Well, because it's a manga, right? So it's a graphic novel.
It's kind of already there.
Yeah, so it's pretty much already there. Like there are a ton of things that are new to the story, you know, just to kind of make the film or to justify the film's length. Cause so in the movie, I thought it was like an hour and 40 minutes, like, you know, tops. Like, it didn't feel like it was going to be something like 2 hours and some odd minutes. I was taken back, and I was actually kind of happy because after like a certain amount of time, I'm like, oh man, they're going to stop it here. Oh man, they're going to stop it here. Oh wait, no, they're going to keep going. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's not done yet. You know, it's like, oh, they're probably going to stop it here too. It's not done yet.
I had the same exact feeling. I was like, every time like there was like a really good part coming with a cliffhanger moment, I was like, they're gonna end it right here. Absolutely. And then it kept going. No, they're gonna end it right here. And it kept going. And I'm like, yo, how much are you gonna actually show us the entire thing? Obviously they spoiler, they don't.
Yeah.
And if I just found it out because, you know, the anime manga king right here knows everything about all that kind of stuff. And apparently there's 3 parts to this, you said, right?
Yes, there's 3 parts.
So we have to go. That is an extremely long
timeline.
Maybe it's not.
It's gonna in the next 7 years from starting this year. So
I'm sorry. This manga is gonna be for the next 7 years. I mean,
the trilogy, yeah.
7 years of all this, bro, for real?
It's gonna end 2031, I believe, or if I'm wrong, if not 2031, it could be 2029. But
we'll be so old.
Yeah, we'll be old. We're already old. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I was like, you know, we're pretty old, man. You know.
No, but that's crazy. I did not think it would take that long to, you know, make the next 2 films.
I mean, look at One Piece. I mean, that show been out for over 25 years already, and they've only moved like 2 years in the show. You know what I mean? Like 2.5, or maybe 2 years and like 3 months. True.
But One Piece is they're coming out with episode after episode after episode with breaks in between. These are movies that I highly doubt take 7 years to build all together.
Very true. And then we're not even like including the One Piece films.
Yeah.
There are like 10 of them or like 11.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. Yeah,
over 25 years, that's a lot. Well, what is that? What is the ratio of that? Like, so every 2 years there's a movie?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you think about it, that's kind of the same with with Demon Slayer. You know, like you have this one in 2025, and the next one's going to be in 2027.
Right, but I think for me, okay, this is just what I'm thinking. It's like for me, all three of these movies are all Infinity Castle.
Yes, all three.
Right.
Yes.
So it's technically just one ginormous movie they're making. Why would it take you 7 years? But you know what? You do you.
Yeah.
You do you.
If you think about it,
I just don't agree with it.
Because if you think about it too, right? Like, well, I guess I will probably talk about it later on, like as to why it's going to be this way, or why there's 3 films and why they're long enough to become 3 films and not just like one solid film. And if I remember correctly, this whole arc was long in the manga. I want to say, so not saying much. I want to say it's somewhere between 40 to 60 chapters of just Infinity Castle. And there are only 206 chapters in the known manga. So 40 to 60 is like a solid quarter of it, right? All the other arcs are pretty small, in comparison. Like, what is that? The entertainment arc was like 12 episodes.
Right.
The swordsmithing arc was like 11 episodes.
Right.
What was the first one? The first one would be the
train?
Oh, Mugen Train.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it was episode. I think it was 6 episodes, right? Or wasn't it? Wait, hold on. Wasn't it in the second season? It was in the second season, right?
It was was it the second? Yes.
Because that means that the entertainment district was half of that as well, right?
Yeah.
So that means that so there are about 6 episodes each. And then
some extra stuff.
Yeah, and then some extra fluff, so to speak. And there's also the ones where, you have the intro to the whole show, which was 24 episodes? Was it 24 episodes?
Mm-hmm.
And there were like 3 arcs in there. There was an arc where, Tanjiro and his sister are, looking for ways to help. And then there is the Demon Slayer test. And then there's the what was that? It was a smaller version of the Infinity Castle, and that's where we meet Inosuke, because Tanjiro and Zenitsu are going on this one trip, and they meet these kids in the forest. And remember that one? That was the first arc.
Yeah.
And then also there's the spider arc, right? The spider family arc.
Yeah.
That was all in the first season, and I remember they were long. So before I even tell you I watched the Infinity Castle, I wasn't even caught up in the anime. I just knew where everything was. Like, if anything should start, I would know where. And my brother's like, no, bro. There's so many different things. There's like tons of things that you probably missed, and you definitely gotta go back. You definitely gotta check it out. Trust me. And I was like, I don't know, man. And then there was a couple of things I was like, I don't remember this in the manga. I was like, this is crazy right now. And I think that it was actually kind of refreshing to see some newer takes, or some new content, I guess. Is that the right term I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Because I think it's fair to say that aside from the animation being incredible and taking the manga to a whole nother height, it's you're just like, oh wow, it's kind of like an understatement to say that the anime isn't as fire as the story in the manga. And I know a lot of people out there that wanna. What is it? They want to hate on the popularity of Demon Slayer, but or talk about how the trope is like consistently being used. I'll just like, if you're still watching anime knowing that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Oh, it's like this one. Oh, it's like this one. If you have like 6 different titles to say that this show is about, I was like, it doesn't matter if it's the same. You love it.
Yeah, you watch it.
Enjoy it.
Hold on. There's something right here and it keeps bugging me.
Oh, is that?
It's like a lint.
Is that lint, or is that like a pillow piece?
I don't know.
I don't even have a pillow that does that.
But it was just bugging me because I just kept looking at it. It was like this white thing on all of the black of your pop filter, and I was just like, yo, this thing is gonna drive me crazy if I don't pull it off. But yeah, no.
That's a clip. Okay, so we're talking about what is it? The commonality? Is that the term?
Yeah.
Of the manga to the movie, like is it like to the T? And I would say it is, and then some. There are a couple of things that I was actually trying to remember. So in the Infinity Castle movie, the first movie, I was expecting to see a lot more Not a lot more. I was trying to see who was paired off with who. But there was one person I knew throughout the entire film who was paired off with Zenitsu. I knew like the moment so like I said, I didn't finish the anime before I watched Infinity Castle. I watched Infinity Castle and I had just started season 4 before leaving to watch Infinity Castle. I was like, episode 2. Granted, we watched it on the Friday it came out. And my brother told me to start watching it now, which is a Tuesday night. I had my gig. So as soon as I got home from my gig, I watched I finished season 3. And then I didn't realize episode 1 and episode 11 of season 3 were like 50-minute long episodes. And I was like, why am I not done yet? I mean, here and then I also go on YouTube. I check out stuff like, I also like browse or surf, like our age would say. And, and I'm just like, I'm not done yet. So I get to the 4th season, first episode, 45 minutes or 49 minutes long. I was just like, bro, what? I didn't have time. I had to go to sleep, regular life and stuff. And then I'm watching the movie. So I watched the film and I get back and I finished the rest of the 6 episodes of season 4, which by the way is also super long. And I'm like, I would have never, if I was just like, I pride myself on finishing anime like within the weekend. I had 2 days, but then again, I was also busy those 2 days. So I had to kind of fit it in. So it was definitely something I didn't think of. Like season 4, there is a part where Gyome, the crying Hashira, the stone Hashira, he freaking moves his mace to axe chain like weapon, and he uses it like it's nunchakus. You guys saw that? Insane. And then anyway, and then of course, Biwa, the ukulele player. I want to call her the ukulele player, but I know it's not a ukulele, but I believe it's like 3 or 4 strings. I want to say it's 4 strings, which makes my ukulele comment. Nah, but so you watched the anime, right? You've seen all the yeah. So what did you think going into the movie from the last couple of episodes from season 4?
What did I think? That's a good question.
Like the setup was insane. Like,
so I will say this. I did not remember how season 4 ended, which season 4 ends with the intro of the movie.
Yes.
Right? And as I'm watching the movie, the intro, that's when all of the memories of the season, and I'm like, oh, right. This all did happen. And then I remember about, what is his name? Who's their father figure?
Oh, Ubushiki? Bro, that's such a crazy name.
Yeah, but him, like, I'm like, oh, yeah. He tricked him and then blew himself up and his wife and 2 of his kids. And I'm just like, yo, I can't, how can I forget this all happened at the end of season 4? And you're just kind of like, oh, God. And so, like, in that moment, dread is kind of what the feeling 100%. That I got was like, oh, this is super sad. And, I think that was the first emotion I felt as I was watching the beginning of that movie was just like sadness from remembering what happened in the ending of season 4.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, oh man, how is this going to work? And then realizing that they're falling inside of the Infinity Castle and they're surrounded by all these demons. Cause I remember now, like in that moment, I remembered what my thought process as they're falling through the castle, mm-hmm. and they're just surrounded by all these demons and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, they're screwed.
Yeah, dude. It gave me that dread. You ever watch the movie Spawn with Michael Jai White? Uh-huh. Remember at the end where he like falls in hell and you see all the demons like around? That's what it reminded me of. And I was just like,
it's literally that.
Yeah. And then I'm like, wait, but he's Spawn. You know what I mean? And then so you think about it, like a bunch of the Hashira are there.
True. But yeah, no, definitely going into it, I'm just like, people going to die.
Absolutely.
Right? Or not even going into the movie, ending the season 4, right? Because we saw Kyojuro? Is that how you say his name?
From
Rengoku?
Rengoku, yeah.
Right? We see him die. right?
Yeah.
In the train arc.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of left with this. And then what's his name? What's the cool guy that has the 3 wives?
Tengen.
Tengen. Yeah. I mean,
he's the ninja.
Yeah, he is one of the coolest characters in that whole series. But he loses an arm.
Yeah.
Right.
And an eye.
Yeah, you're right. And so you're kind of left with this Games of Thrones feeling. That nobody's safe, right? And so they're falling into the Infinity Castle, and you're just like, nobody's safe. Do not attach yourself to any of these characters because anyone can die, and let's be honest, somebody will.
Oh yeah.
And if you watch the movie, somebody does, and it leaves you kind of like in a spot for sure.
Very bitter taste.
I was actually kind of upset that this person died. And we will, we're going to tell you who it is. So once again, spoilers. If you haven't watched it, you should definitely go.
Pause it. Pause this and
go watch it. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Or you could just wait until they make it into, episodes if you really want to wait that long.
I don't think they are, but if they
do.
No
way?
I don't think they are.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't read anything on it, so the only thing I've read on is the fact that it's going to take like 6-7 years
to
finish insane. All 3.
But okay, so that's the feeling I had was people are going to die. Who knows who's going to die? But that was definitely my where my mind was at that moment.
Dude, I forgot that person died too.
Really?
Yeah. When it happened, I was like, oh, that's right. They're not the one that's supposed to beat him. I was like, I know who beats him, and I'm like,
I can only imagine.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, obviously it didn't show up until the end. Until I'm like, okay, they're the ones that's gonna do it. You know what I mean? And I'm only bringing them up in what is that, third person, because we're gonna probably talk about it later.
Yeah.
But before we talk about that, you brought up Tengen earlier. This is a little side kind of talk or side story. There was an argument, I believe, on TikTok or Instagram, one of the social medias. They were saying that Tengen or what is the butterfly girl? The girl with the thin katana.
Yeah.
Was it Kaoru or Shinobu? Are they the same? Because I keep mixing her and Kanao.
It's Shinobu.
Shinobu.
Yeah.
All right, they're saying that Shinobu's faster than Tengen and all that jazz. And I want to see it here. It's impossible. And I'm not saying it's because she's her own. She has her own. What do you call? Inferiority complex or whatever. It's not because of that. It's because of what Tengen was before he became a Hashira. Dude's a ninja. Not only is he quick, he's quiet. You don't even know he's there. You know what I mean? I was just like, you're not gonna catch that guy. Plus, if you think about it too, like apparently she was you see her a little bit of her life in the film, and you see that she had an older sister, and I believe Tengen was already a Hashira at that time, meaning that he was a Hashira a lot longer than Shinobu, in my opinion. And I'm just saying, it's impossible that she's faster than him solely because he's a ninja. That's it. That's my spiel. If you guys have any other proof that she's faster in any shape or form, like I feel like if she doesn't think that she's faster than her own sister, what makes you think she's faster than Tengen? He's a sound Hashira. I was just the only person that's faster than him, I would think, if in a Hashira sense, would be the Hashira of light. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what? Anyway, I thought that was important to bring up, letting you know.
So with that, if he is the sound ninja and the only thing faster would be light, would you argue then that Zenjutsu is or could become faster?
Ah, that's a good point. Is Zenitsu faster than Tengen? Yes. I believe in a fit of speed, no one beats Zenitsu. Zenitsu is absolutely insane. He is fast. But
by the way, loved him in this.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Finally he gets his moment.
Yeah, he gets his just dessert. Yeah, and you know, and in a good reason too. Like and what's funny too is that me and my brother knew, because we both read the manga. We knew going in how everyone was gonna feel about it. I was
for sure.
Y'all, you're gonna be so hyped, because we were like, when we read it, it literally was like maybe three chapters, maybe 4, and that's fast. You know what I mean? I was like, that's fast. And I read a chapter. I can read a chapter in like 2 minutes and 5 minutes if I really like the art. And I spent 5 minutes on each of these chapters. Zenitsu is a boss.
Yeah.
Hands down. He was fantastic in the film.
Of the younger generation, Zenitsu is my favorite character when he's not being annoying. When he's not being his normal self. It annoys me to know. But his the idea of his character is so cool that I'm just like, yo, just give this kid a moment. Just give him one. And like I said, I don't read the manga, so I don't know anything. I'm just going off of what I'm watching on the animes. So throughout the last 4 seasons of this, I'm just like, give this kid his moment, because we've seen glimpses of him being awesome. It's like, if this kid can just catch that potential all the time, he's gonna be a menace, Yeah. And that was during his fight scene, I was like, yes.
Absolutely.
Finally, they have heard and they have responded to me. Even though the only person I was talking to in that moment was myself, and so who could hear me? But he knew, right? I feel like his character. People are gonna hate this. He kind of gives me, Sakura vibes, in the sense that Sakura has all this potential from Naruto. If you don't know, she has all this potential, but her writing is just doesn't give it to her. The writing just always gave her nothing.
They nerfed her.
Yeah, they nerfed her a lot. She becomes one of the strongest ninjas out there, but still nothing. She learns from one of the 3.
Right. Every time she fights a colossal ninja, like on Naruto and Sasuke's level or higher. That's the only fight she's ever been put in.
Right. But other than that, she's always like, oh, help me. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like it was kind of the same with Zenitsu. Am I saying it right?
Yep. Zenitsu.
Right. Like, he had all this potential, and they just made him this super annoying character who just wanted to be loved by a girl.
Yeah.
Right? And to love a girl. Yeah. And you're just like, oh my gosh, if he could just stop whining for 1 minute and just pull out the blade and stop being scared of every demon that came across. I mean, I would be terrified, but I ain't a demon slayer.
Exactly.
Right? So if you just give him a moment, right? And we kind of see it in the Spider arc. I think that was the first time we really see him.
No, in the demon arc where they first meet Inosuke.
Oh, you're right. And
he's all like, that's where we find out that he faints.
Yeah, she has something.
Yeah, he faints and then he wakes up.
Like his second personality comes out. Uh-huh. Yeah, you're right. But and you're like, oh, so he does have something.
Yeah.
And you just barely get it. But then Infinity Castle. I keep wanting to call it Infinity War, but we ain't in Marvel today.
Yeah, it's not Marvel.
We're in a whole different world.
It's a completely different world. It's a Kimetsu no Yaiba world. And you know what's okay? So it's okay. Zenitsu's fight was incredible. I didn't know that his opponent, Kaigaku, I didn't know that he knew Gyome. The stone Hashira.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know they were. I forgot, because he's also in the manga, obviously. But I was just like, no wonder.
I forgot that too.
No wonder, because it was his fault
that they all died.
Mm-hmm.
All the kids
all the children.
Yeah.
And by the way,
the
guys,
reason why he cries all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And if you guys are here and you heard that and you haven't seen it, but you knew that this review was about the movie after it, I apologize. He doesn't.
No. You should have already known by now.
But I'm lying.
He's sorry, but not sorry.
Anyway.
No, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that too, mm-hmm. until it wasn't in the movie, was it? I think I saw it somewhere. It was. I saw it in a TikTok or something.
About the stone Hashira.
About
it's in the 4th season.
Right. No. But that he knew him. Right, I forgot about that whole.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so he's connected to 2 of these people.
Yeah, mm-hmm. They are.
And in both ways, he's a piece of garbage.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
But
so we talk about Kaigaku and knowing them. But here's another thing too about going into the film. So I didn't finish the 4th season before I went in, but after I did, a lot of the character setup made so much sense. And what I mean was, during the training arc, which is the 4th season, you could tell the difference between our main character, Tanjiro, versus everyone else in the crew. Now, if you think about it, every time that Tanjiro passed a certain Hashira and their training, he went leaps and bounds over the other of the demon core. And you see that he, everybody else is like, it's okay. Like if it helps you guys kill the demons, we'll do it. Like everyone that's a part of the demon core all have one goal in mind. And that's to end the demons.
Right.
And like, because they've lost someone to them, like, you know what I mean? Like if they can help in any way, shape or form, they do it. And I was just like, that's such a cool way to ground these characters. You know what I mean? And I forgot that they did this in the manga. Cause I did like the training arc in the manga, but like, having their own dialogue in the anime, in the series, season 4, it made it more real. You know what I mean? It made it more, there's also us, you know what I mean? And at the end of season 4, you see everybody being taken into the Infinity Castle by Biwa via the eyes that were like all over their land or whatever. You see them all fall into him. And then not only do you see all the Hashira fall in, not only do you see Inosuke and Zenitsu fall from wherever they were, but you also have the rest of the Demon Corps. And then you see everybody of the Demon Corps show up. So if you were ever in front of those eyes that were walking around, Biwa's eyes, she knew you were there, and she knew that you were going to be in this Infinity Castle, which makes you think. I mean, because I watched a bunch of reactors, and they're like, oh, like I had to watch the reactors of season 4, episode 8, because they're like, oh my gosh, the regular Demon Corps is down there. They're going to die. Like, they're going to die. Like, that's their first thought.
That's kind of crazy thought.
That's their first thought as a viewer, as the audience. They think that these Demon Corps people are going to die solely from the training arc, which literally dwarfs those regular Demon Corps.
Yeah, you're talking about for an example, you're comparing the Green Beret to the rest of the army. These are the elites and then the regular army, right? It doesn't mean that the regular army is useless.
Right.
They're just not the elites.
Right.
Right. They're still capable of defending themselves and taking care of business.
Yeah.
They're just not at the top of their ranking.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they might not be. What do you call them? What are the elites called?
Hashira.
The Hashira, right? But they're still they passed the test where they had to go into the testing to fight a demon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They passed it. They all survived. They all came out of it alive. Remember, season 1, they all had to go through that same exam. Mm-hmm. All these kids also did the same. So that means they're all tough. They're just not at that level, right, of the Hashira. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a crazy thought to look at them and go, oh, they're all gonna die.
Yeah.
You have to also remember, not all the demons are of the 10 or of the top 5 and the bottom 5. Some of these are just grunt demons, bottom of the pile, right? Like maybe brand new demons to the world of this demon world situation, right? So in part, it's a one-on-one. They're probably evened out, right? You definitely will have demons who are going to kill some of these demon hunters. Or Slayers, sorry, Demon Hunters. What are we doing? K-pop? Demon Slayer.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But so yeah, some of these demons are gonna definitely kill some of them, but vice versa is also true.
Yep.
Right? You can't. Yep. That's an insult. That's an insult to these guys who have worked so hard. I completely agree with you. Like they're being dwarfed in the training arc, but they're still really good.
Yeah.
They're just not the best.
Right. And you see Murata, I believe is his name. You see him do a water wheel, which is of course a water demon slayer move. And he did it. And he's just a regular Demon Corps guy. He's not as like strong as Tanjiro, Zenitsu, or Inosuke, which is another thing too. Like in the training arc, you see Tanjiro just exceeding everything. But then he doesn't meet his boys until like in the later arcs or the later parts. Like he sees Zenitsu with I don't even know how to say his name, but with the Wind Hashira, and then you see Inosuke with the Stone Hashira, and the Stone Hashira is the end. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you just see the strength of those two. Like, and what's funny is Zenitsu is like his base form is very strong, but he's a coward. So it doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? Like that he's there, but it still shows up as very strong. So when you're going into the movie, seeing Murata, a regular Demon Core guy, I believe he was in I think he was in Shinobu's class, or Kinroji's class. That's the first time we see him in the training arc, and just seeing any students in any of their stuff, knowing that the actual order is Tengen first, Gyomei last, it just shows you that there are certain Demon Core people that are actually stronger than other Demon Core.
Yeah.
But some of them had been stuck there for weeks, they said. And normally, Tanjiro was there for 2 days for Tengen, and 3 days with not the snake kid. Yeah, with the snake guy? No, with the girl, Kinroji. You know what I mean? Seriously, they really planned out everything in the story, in the manga, and they made it look great in the film.
They did. Yeah, I will say that I totally forgot that they were going to be in it. I thought only the Hashiro people, the ones that were in that moment where they were fighting. Oh, what's the main demon guy's name?
Oh, Muzan.
Muzan. When they were
Michael Jackson.
all those. Exactly. MJ. When they were fighting him, I thought those were the only people that were being dropped. I totally forgot that everybody who the eye was looking at was going to be dropped into the Infinity Castle, and you're just like, oh yeah, I forgot about all those, all those poor people who are also there now,
yeah.
Right? But yeah, okay. So you want to get into it? Who do you want to start with?
Okay, so I want to. Okay, let's start with. Well, we already kind of started with Zenitsu. We should probably finish Zenitsu.
All right,
first.
Zenitsu it is. So, like I said, Zenitsu gets his moment in the light. His 15 minutes of fame, and I think it was about 15 to 20 minutes. So he definitely got a long time in there, uninterrupted. For the most part.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he meets the
Kaigaku.
Yeah, Kaigaku, who was also part of his training group.
Yeah.
Right.
Disciple mate.
Oh yeah. Oh, that fight was so good. And the whole time, he must have fainted while falling, because the whole time he was in his second personality.
Yeah.
He wasn't screaming or crying or anything. He was just concentrated the entire time until he meets him. And even then, it's kind of weird, because maybe the training has helped him from the training arc, because he wasn't because when he was talking to I forgot his name again.
Oh, Muzan?
No, the bad guy. The guy he fights.
Kaigaku.
Yeah, Kaigaku.
Yeah.
Kaigaku.
I believe that's his name. Yeah.
Right? When he was fighting him, even when he was talking to him, he was talking like himself. He wasn't talking like the second version of him. That's the only way I can really describe it, right? He was kind of pleading with him and like saying, our master cared for us. He cared for you and all this stuff. He was like, that guy, I hate that guy so much.
Yeah.
He is actually the worst character. He is truly the bottom of the barrel. I think every other demon there has some more respect than he does.
Yeah.
He was honestly the worst person on the planet. So they started fighting. The fight scene, by the way, not practically. I think every single fight scene in this movie was phenomenal. They all were so good. The choreography was just amazing for all of it. So, but his was so nice. I loved it.
Yeah.
And
seeing I remembered when he got the letter in the season 4. I'm bringing up the season 4 because it's such a great build up to the
it's what
first film.
It's what brings us to this point.
Yeah. And you see that he got a letter. And it was of his it was his grandfather, right? Wasn't he?
Yeah.
His grandfather, the previous Thunder Hashira, which I want to say, Thunder Hashira title sounds the coolest. I mean, there's a Flame Hashira, there's a Stone Hashira. Stone Hashira feels like grounded, like foundation, right? But when you hear Thunder Hashira,
yeah, it sounds fire.
It sounds so awesome, and hearing that his grandpa committed seppuku because one of his students, Kaigaku, who was supposed to lead the Thunder.
One of the two. They were both supposed to.
They were supposed to. And becoming a demon, he committed suicide, and he didn't have a secondary to cut off his head.
Oh, that part was so.
Yeah.
When he's yelling at him about that he committed
seppuku.
Yes, seppuku. Yeah. Right. And then he's telling him, and he had to suffer because there was nobody to end it for him, to chop his head off, right? And you're just thinking, you're thinking of that moment of him just going and cutting himself, and he's just bleeding out. That broke me. Yeah. I didn't cry. I don't think I cried throughout the entire movie, but there were definitely moments where I was just like, yo, that is... My hatred for this guy has just increased tenfold because of that one moment. Exactly. Right? And then his response to Zenitsu is, I don't care, right? And I mean, granted, he's a demon, so he doesn't care, right? I don't think they have any kind of love emotions at all, right? It's all self-serving, right? Shocker.
What happened? Did I just die?
No, I think it might have overheated, so it turned off.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You should be fine. Hopefully that one doesn't do the same thing. We'll find out.
That's never happened. It's probably because
it's in 4K.
Oh, I see.
So if it senses that it's going to overheat, then it'll turn off so it doesn't ruin your camera.
I see. Okay.
But yeah, no, it's like, where were we?
We're talking about Kaigaku not being there. Yeah.
Kaigaku not caring, right? He has no love for what Zenitsu is telling him, and you're just kind of left with like, oh, this guy is just absolute garbage. And so here's the interesting part, right? I mean, they break it down in this thing. Zenitsu only ever learned the first form, and Kaigaku learned all of the forms except for the first form, and that's why their master wanted both of them to lead, because you kind of need to learn all the forms if you're gonna be a Thunder Hashira?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and and it broke my heart a little bit because I remembered in the manga too. The finishing move for Kaigaku was a seventh form, and Kaigaku instantly went into regret because he was a coward in the sense of
100%
in disguise. He was a coward in disguise. You know what I mean? Like he knew that he wanted to help people. He knew that he wanted to be strong. He knew that. However, he had the weakness or the hole that he had in his inferiority, whatever. That's what Zenitsu even said. He said like he was like an empty, like his joy was, there was a hole in his box of joy, whatever they call it. Well, and it like sand fell out of it every time. And Zenitsu never understood why. He's like, Zenitsu knew that Kaigaku was supposed to take the lead, but his grandpa making them both leads, like, terrible idea. And that's bad on, I'm gonna say that's bad on the grandpa's part. I'll just say, how dare you put these two? I'll just say it just sounds like it sounds like nepotism. You know what I mean? I was just like, a very nepo baby move, man. I was just like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? It's like, oh, because with both of them together, they know all the moves. I was like, that is just silly. And then I think of Odin, or I think of Thor to Odin. You're an old man and a fool. You know, like what? You know,
I disagree.
I was like, if he can't learn the first one, the first move, and Zenitsu can't learn the others 5 moves, pick someone else.
That's crazy. I disagree.
Someone else.
I disagree. I think I understood why he chose both of them to lead, because they knew all the forms.
I mean, fair, because
I always forget his name. Kaigaku. His problem was he kept comparing himself to Zenitsu, right? Kept saying, "I'm better than him. I'm better than him." Why? He's always comparing. And you know what they say about comparing?
Yep.
Right. Comparison is the theft of joy, and so he can never be joyful. Because all he can do is think about how unfair it is that he needs to share the role of leader with someone else, right? Somebody who he completely thought was inferior in every way, because all he could ever learn was the first form, which is the most basic form. It's the easiest form to learn. It's literally what you have to learn first before you can learn anything else, right? And that was the only thing he'd ever do. So he's like, I'm so much better, right? But in the end, when they're having their fighting scene, Zenitsu, I mean, he just freaking lightning bolts himself up, chops his head off, not with form 1 or any of the other 5 forms after that, but with form 7, a form that doesn't exist. He literally creates his own form right there on the spot, and cuts off his head, and you're just like, satisfied.
I thought he learned it. He learned a bit from Tanjiro.
Maybe
because of the dragon dance.
It could be, But he definitely, I mean, he created a form.
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
for the thunder forms, it didn't exist.
Oh wait, yeah, he made it. He didn't make it at that fight. He made it a while ago. He made it before he left, for the Demon Core training.
Did he really?
Yeah, because remember he said he's like, see, I knew he was holding out on me. You know, what is this 7th form? I've never seen it. And then that's what Zenitsu said. I made this form so I can fight by your side.
Oh.
Yeah. Or if he did make it, it was before the Infinity Castle fight.
Right.
Meaning that he probably did it while he was in the Demon Core. If not before he joined it. Because I was just like, I think Tanjiro helped a little bit, and because of the form.
And the thing is, if you look at Zenitsu, he's the complete opposite. Because instead of comparing, all he ever wanted to do is fight by his side. He wanted to be his equal. Yeah. Because he never thought himself equal, right? But instead, he kills him anyways. He just chops his head off, and you just goodbye.
Yeah. He chopped his head off because of his gramps. That's why.
Yeah. And he deserved it.
Yeah. But
that
no,
punk.
freaking.
Yeah, that fight was phenomenal.
Awesome, Zenitsu. Kaigaku, you did great too, being a bad guy. Hated you. So great
Love
job,
to hate you.
You know. All right, on to the next one. Shinobu versus Toma.
Yes.
Toma round 1.
Bro.
This one was, I want to say it didn't really cut deep, but it definitely sucked to watch because I was a big fan of hers. And I'm like, I do like all the romance in these shows, if there are any. And from what I believe, I thought that she and Giyu was a thing. And then I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I think I was right. I think, well, at least she and Giyu had that kind of tension. At least that's what they showed in the characters. Unlike Kanroji and the snake guy. I don't know his name. But the snake guy, they obviously have a thing. Well, more he does than her. She loves everybody. And then you go back to.
I don't know. Her heart eyes grow a little bit bigger for him than
That's true.
than for anybody else.
She get an extra couple centimeters.
She loves
of blush.
Everybody, but she loves him.
Yeah, she like that guy. And then you see
Tokito is his name.
Tokito. And you see that Shinobu is this girl that has an inferiority complex, comparing herself to her sister, Shinobu's sister, her older sister.
Oh yeah,
longer hair, taller, whatever the case is. And she said that she hated trying to be like her. And I forgot, was she a Hashira?
Who? The
Shinobu?
older sister?
No, the younger one.
Shinobu?
Was she a Hashira?
Yeah, she was a Hashira. She was one of the.
Was she the poison one?
Yeah.
Okay, because
Shinobu was the poison one, and it wasn't Tokito. Where is the snake guy on here?
Oh, Tokito is the freaking
mist one. Yeah,
mist
the mist
guy.
one.
Yeah, Sabito, is it? Is that his name? No, Sabito.
He's not on this list.
He was supposed to be he was a member of Tanjiro Kamado.
But she was definitely the butterfly girl.
Butterfly.
Yeah, she was the poison Hashira.
Shinobu Kocho. Yeah, she was awesome, and she went against Upper Moon 2, aka Toma. And out of all the demons in this series, he is the one I dislike the most.
Because of his nonchalantness?
Yeah. He is a psycho. He's a psycho.
He definitely is. I mean, his backstory, you're just left with, oh, this is cult. This is a cult.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And not going to lie, though, he has cool eyes. His eyes are awesome. Like he looked like he has LED lights in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like he looks like a Chinese checkers, like a multicolored marble eye. But whatever the case is, so I'm frick. I don't want to spoil.
I'll spoil it for you.
No. It's not even in this film. It was going to be in the next one.
Oh,
but so I'm not gonna say it. But
can I go on? No. Finish your thought.
Okay.
Because I have something in my head, and I just want to see your facial reaction when I say it.
Okay.
Let's see how good your poker face is.
And so Toma, he is a nonchalant kind of guy, and he does these things. So we already talked about how Kagaku is he's just terrible. He's worst. He is the type that will not own up to he doesn't take any responsibility for his actions. He is already a coward in disguise. So You know, there's that. And then you have someone like Adoma who is absolutely aware of what he's doing, doesn't care what he's doing, and he calls it justice. Like he said earlier, very cult-like. But that's his parents' fault. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, that's him. And seeing him fight Shinobu was a terrible matching, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, for sure, like, because her whole thing is poisoning.
Yeah.
Right. And on top of that, her blade really only has a tip to it. Right. The entire middle part of her blade is not sharpened at all. There's actually no edge in the middle part of her blade. It's just the spine.
Yep.
Right?
It was made lighter for her so she can hold it.
She is lightning with that thing for sure.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, no, I mean, her whole purpose is to just poke, right? Because she kills by poison, but this
neutralizes, right?
Yeah.
Or stabilizes or something.
Yeah.
Because he can't move. They're like stuck, you know?
But with him, he just his body was regenerate because he's the upper moon too.
Yeah.
He's second, right? There's only one person above him before it's Michael Jackson at the top, right? So he just regenerated so quickly. His body was able to like just fight off the poison over and over and over. And her by the way, her sheath is pretty dope because it's like, who knows how many different vials of poison she has in there that she's constantly like mixing together because you know she has to turn it inside of her sheath constantly, and then it generates a new poison, and she tries that and it doesn't work. She goes again, tries again, and she keeps trying, and all of these things are not working. And unfortunately, it leads to her not succeeding in her fight.
Right.
And she's the first of the Hashiros to go down, and it's super sad. I'm like, he said he wasn't phased that bad. I was just like, and my wife more than me. She was like, oh, I hope, what's her name again? Shinobu?
Yeah.
And she's like, I hope Shinobu doesn't die. She's my favorite. And as we're watching that, I just gotta like look over to her, and she's just like, deadpan face, just looking at the screen going, mother truckers, right?
That's funny.
And I was like, but I also was just like, oh no, not her. Come on, man. I liked her character. I like all of their characters. Okay, these spam callers just keep calling like crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna start making musubi. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no. Shinobu lost her fight, but she did her best. She did her absolute best. She never ended. She never stopped. You know what I mean? And it made her character even stronger than what she thought she was. She was already fighting against what people think of her, but it's actually only what she thought of herself.
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
Because all the other Hashiras like, well, I'm not going to fight her. You know what I mean? Because the thing was, I think the fact that she could even touch Doma, it makes sense that she was at her rank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if she thought she was weak, she definitely wasn't. You know, not to me anyways. It was incredible. She had an incredible fight, you know?
No, I agree. So the way she gets pretty much killed, right? She gets absorbed into the demon. And as she's getting absorbed, what's her face? Kanao? Yeah. She comes into the room just in time to see her getting absorbed, right? Now, you probably know what's actually going to happen. I don't, but I'm sitting there watching this happen, and I'm just thinking to myself, how could you just let her die like that? That's actually crazy. Later on, as I'm sitting, I'm like, you know what? Okay, this is my hope, and I want to say this is what's actually going to be true, but my hope is, because this is the girl of poisons, and I'm sure if she I would imagine that she constantly is stabbing herself and trying poisons out. I can see, have you ever seen the Apothecary Diary?
Yeah.
I see that like she is that girl.
Mama?
Mama.
Absolutely.
Right? She's like, how's this gonna do? Right? My guess, this is my hypothesis. She, if it's not in her blood, in some form on her, she has some ultimate poison. And in being absorbed in such a high quantity of that poison, being absorbed, the demon is going to feel those effects. And it's in one way or another going to help Kanao beat him. That's my guess. That's my theory.
And don't forget though, like at the end or toward the end of I guess the middle of Kanal's fight, my boy comes in from the top. You know who it is? Brother Inosuke, baby. Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
He hopped right in, and I believe in the middle of Kanal's fight with Doma. Like she had already fought him or cut him up a couple times. She's like already losing strength kind of stuff. There's a lot of things going on already between Kanal and Doma, and Inosuke came through.
And Inosuke is the only one of the trio, right, who did not get a fighting scene, right? He had a little bit of, hey, running around looking for demons.
Yeah.
And apparently he's the only person who can't find one in a place full of them, right? Yeah. So I thought that was pretty funny.
He wanted a big one, right?
Yeah, he wanted a big boy, right? But definitely he's going to have his fighting scene in the second film, because he's the only one who didn't. Before we go, anything else you want to add about Shinobu fight scene?
Yeah, so when Doma was saying
Domo arigato?
Doma thought to himself, he's like, don't worry, you get to live on through me. I was like, that's insane. That's insane.
He's crazy.
But that was it. Like he's wild.
No, he's definitely disconnected.
And Shinobu, she didn't need that. However, he's a demon and she's a Hashira. So it is what it is.
I just want to, before we go to because other than that, there's no other fight. The only other fight is the main one. The main fight.
Yeah.
So before we go to
title
that,
card.
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to what is his name? I don't know his name. The father figure, his son.
Oh, Rengoku.
No. Rengoku is it Rengoku the fire guy?
Yeah, you said his son.
No. The son of the father figure, the guy who the guy who blew himself up. The guy with the disease. Ubu. That guy.
Shiiki.
But his son.
Yeah. The little one.
The little boy, because even though his dad, his mom, and two of his sisters blew themselves up, and then he has his. I didn't even know there were so many of them.
Yeah, 5 children.
He had 5 kids, right? Yeah. And it was him, and then the 2 younger sisters.
Yep.
And they're sitting there trying to map out the entire Infinity Castle, and the 2 little girls are about to start just crying, and he's like, "Put yourselves together. We need to keep going." And he's just taking charge. I was like, "Yo, this kid is boss. I would follow this kid to war."
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just holding everything together, even though this kid is probably 11. Right,
yeah,
and inside he's probably dying because it's just from the agony of knowing his dad and his mom is dead, and he's just we need to keep going. We need to keep going.
Yeah.
This is what my father would have wanted.
Yeah,
and he's just going at it, and they're continuously giving information to I forgot their names.
Hashira.
Thank you, man. The Hashiras, right? And it's oh, this is what's happening here and there and all this places, bro. That kid inspired me. That kid inspired me for sure. And then he had what's his face guarding him, and the dad of Rengoku.
Yeah, Tengen and Rengoku.
And you're oh, nobody's getting through that.
Yeah, I was just yeah, all the big guys are already there. Upper moons are over there.
Yeah.
Any other demon? Yeah.
You might as well go into the Infinity Castle.
Exactly.
Don't even worry about this little boy.
Yeah, Nezuko is straight over there.
Yeah, no, that was to me was one of and I almost I was about to cry too, because he's thinking about it, and you're those emotions are going through him, and you're just oh kid, I feel for you right now, because they all knew what he was planning.
Ubuyashiki.
Yeah, that guy. They already knew what they were planning, and they kind of already knew that it wasn't going to work. I think they were hoping it might work, but they knew deep down that they needed a plan B, and plan B was what's her face stabbing her with the vial of blood, right? The antidote to demonhood.
Bro, I gotta say though, that was a lot. There's a lot going on up in that Infinity Castle with the birds and stuff like that. And exactly the 3 kids that was left really had a big shoe to fill, and it was their dads. And I was just how do you only get 2, daughters, and then there's 2 other daughters there? I was just were they a quadruplet, or was it 2 twins? Because the girls
I think
look alike.
I think it was 2 older twins, and then the boy, and then 2 younger twins. Because the 2 little girls look exactly like the older girls, but they're definitely smaller. They're probably like 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, and they made the boy a girl in the beginning. So because I guess only boys have some kind of gift that are passed down through the line. And I guess I don't know how that works. I forgot like the specifics behind it, but they had to hide that he had a son.
Wait, was he the one that had the black hair?
Yeah.
I just put that together. I did not realize that boy was the sister with the black hair.
Oh.
And I always wondered. I'm always like, why does one have black hair and the other one has, and then 2 of them have white hair?
Yeah.
I never put that they were the same character. They're just hiding them, huh? That's crazy. But yeah, no, I mean, him and the sisters, power to them, man. They're killing it in the upper world right now, you know, trying to just keep the Hashiros on the right path of trying to, you know, get to Michael Jackson.
Yep, exactly. Muzan Jackson.
Muzan Jackson.
So the next fight, the final fight, the title card fight, the one that we're all here for, Akaza versus Tanjiro. And I guess Gyu, because Gyu was also there.
What? You say that like Gyu didn't do anything. That's actually crazy.
I mean, I like Gyu and all, but he has his own, I guess, fights, kind of similar to Kaigaku, but he's more of trying to atone, trying to take a responsibility, unlike Kaigaku.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I mean, Gyu, if it wasn't for Gyu, Tanjiro would be dead.
You're right. But I thought that Tanjiro was absolutely disrespectful, using only the freaking dragon flame instead of the water. I was like, oh, what, water too good for you, dog? Water too good for you, huh? Tanjiro? But no, he probably didn't think that because he's Tanjiro. But yes, going into that fight.
Wholesome in every way.
Yeah, very, very. Like, remember his mind was as clear as water and sky. I think that going into the fight, you already saw that Akaza was just like this blaze of just hatred. And I gotta say, a lot of these things that happen with demons. Okay, so like it's really interesting the way that these characters are. So all the demons that Muzan made into upper moons, they all had issues with humans.
Right.
Like, let's look at Gyutaru from the entertainment district. You know, he came from a poor background, and his sister was gorgeous, but she was a rosebud in poop. You know what I'm saying? That's how she grew up, and that's all he knew how to do. You know, just to be, I guess, just to fit in society. But the humans destroyed that. So you know, now he's a demon, so he kills humans. Like, almost like this is what you did to me. Kaigaku, on the other hand, too, like he blames everybody else except himself. But when in the face of danger, he decided to become evil because it just seemed easier for him. Because he had a very human emotional issue. And then you have Akaza, who was literally not betrayed by humans. Certain humans kept his love of things like away at bay, like, or at least kept him from loving anymore because of what humans did. So like, and then you have the demon core was created because of what demons did to them. You know what I mean? So it's almost like because of humanity, these demons are demons. Because of demons, these humans are not demon core. You know what I mean? I was just like, that's a crazy, like, you know,
circle
of like characters and life, I guess, in this case. But yeah, going into Akaza's fight, man, like, you see that Akaza was a martial artist.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, like, a lot of people were saying that, you know, his backstory was kind of long. I think it was like 20 minutes.
His backstory, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So I have a love-hate relationship with this last part of the movie. And the hate part is that his backstory was so long. I was like, yo, we're still going? Like, I think in part for me is like, I hated his character. His character, who doesn't hate him? Right. He killed Rengoku. Like, we want him
and he ran away like a coward.
Yeah, we want his head to be chopped off.
Yes.
And then him die.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you're giving us this backstory to make us feel something for him. And the entire time, I'm sitting there trying to be as stubborn as possible. I was like, no, I'm not going to feel anything for this guy. I hate him. Yeah. I hate him, and he needs to die. And then we get to the later end of his backstory, and I'm just like, Why are you doing this to me? I want to hate him. Please let me hate him.
What are you doing?
You know, but I don't know. I mean, you don't think the backstory was too long?
I didn't think it was too long. It didn't matter because it's anime. But I did enjoy watching it.
I mean, I overall I enjoyed watching it. But at the same time, I'm just like I don't need all this backstory. Like even for the psycho killer number 2.
Doma.
Like
yeah.
I'm like, bro, I don't need so much of your backstory. Like who cares? So I think that if I have one trope about animes in general is too much backstory sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do not care about the bad guy's backstory. Let me just see them fight and die.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to feel something for them. Sometimes I don't care why you're a bad guy or what made you become this.
Right.
I don't care.
And I think that's why a lot of people are saying, and in the One Piece, after they get to like episode 900, they're like, I better not get a backstory about the celestial dragons. It's kind of something like that where people hate celestial dragons, but they're like, but where did they come from though? Why are they like that? There has to be a reason, you know. And just like he says, like there's no reason I need to know why. I just know that the
sometimes
people
there
that
isn't.
Right, sometimes there isn't. But in Akaza's backstory, you hear that he was a regular ruffian. You know, people didn't like him.
He wasn't even like that bad of a ruffian either. He was just trying to provide for his dad who was sick because he needed medicine.
Yeah.
Fair. Completely fair.
He was a thief. He was a thief of the night.
That's true.
He thief.
He thiefed.
He thiefed him. But you see most of his story at a dojo because this guy's all like, yeah, I'll take care of you. You know what I mean? I think he was like a cop helper or volunteer for the law, the dad. And you find out the dad found out that Akaza, I forgot his real name.
Who?
Akaza's name Hakuji. So Hakuji was his name, and Hakuji was made to take care of his daughter. And in the meantime, he stayed at the dojo with the daughter and such like that. Like you see that he had a pretty solid background until, of course, jealous dojos, you know, got a hold of the dad and the daughter, and they murdered him.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I mean, in that moment, I'm like, they deserve to die too.
Bro, and then you think about it too, right? Akaza, right? Or excuse me, Hakuji. He laid him out. And he killed them with his bare hands.
Yeah.
And I don't think he killed all of them, but there's like maybe 60 people that he like maimed, dismembered. I was just like, he did it absolutely, and he was still a human. You know what I mean? He was still a human, and he could be on the run, but who's gonna fight him? Who's gonna fight him unless you got a gun?
There was only one person who could stop him, and he did.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Only one guy, and you killed him.
So you kind of just let him free now. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, the backstory was good, right? I felt it was too long, though.
Yeah.
Especially for where we were at. And I was already pissed. At this moment during his backstory, I was mad. Okay, and you want to know why? I was mad because the entire time they're fighting, like, Tanjiro finally realizes, like, something about how he should fight, right? Because he remembered, he's like, what is what's his name? I was about to say Akatsuki. Once again, we're Naruto? What's going on? Akaza, right? He's like, how is Akaza figuring out how we're, like, Akaza was almost like reading their minds, right? And he was able to like counter all their attacks all the time. And so for like 15 minutes, Tanjiro is like, what is going on? How is he figuring this out? And you come to realize it's like the what was the word they used? Bloodlust, right? Yeah. Or the will to fight, like that desire to fight. Is that he could feel that, and so that's how he knows when a move is coming. And in that moment, Tanjiro is like, "Oh wait, there was a moment," and he goes another freaking flashback, right, about his dad, and he chops the head off of a freaking ginormous bear. Bro,
what a scene!
And the bear doesn't even know what happens before he's like he's dead before he knows it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And the dad he not even Tanjiro's like, what just happened, right? And in that moment, he realized that the dad didn't have any malice or bloodlust or anything. He's just like, you're not going to cross this line. And when the bear refused to listen to him, he just, boom, and it was done. There was no hatred to it. He just did it. And so in that moment, Tanjiro unlocks the next level of his awesomeness, right? And goes and just walks up to Akaza and chops his head off. And in that moment, I'm just like, what an amazing, that was so good. So good. Until his body just starts to walk around. So the entire time you're telling me, you're talking about how the only way to kill a demon is to chop his head off, except for Michael Jackson, right? Every other demon, you have to chop their head off. 4 freaking seasons of this being told to us. We get to him, except for Akaza. He's different. Bro, Tanjiro's moment was stolen from it, and I was so mad.
Yeah.
That moment of he's reached the next level was robbed. And I was pissed. And then we go into his backstory. I'm like, do you think I care about his backstory? Tanjiro killed him, and he's still rocking around.
Yep. And his stuff was going to be healed.
Yeah,
remember?
his head was like regrowing.
Right. Which isn't okay. So that's funny that I did feel like I was like, what? Oh, that's right. That was
so
me.
we fought for no reason.
And then I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, is it because he's 3 and up? I was like, because Doma's still alive, and we didn't see number 1.
I mean, yeah, true. Oh man, that fight's gonna be crazy too. I can only wait for that one. I'm guessing that's gonna happen in the 3rd one.
Yeah, probably. And so yeah, no, absolutely, he was definitely robbed. I was like, there's. So
for me, that backstory of Akaza, I'm like, I don't care. His head is chopped off. I don't care about it. He should be disintegrating at this moment. He should be burning up into ashes, thinking about how he just got defeated by this kid, right?
It's like to become a cockroach or
right.
A lizard.
But no, instead he gets back up and he's like, I'm still gonna fight you, headless. And I'm like, yo, I was so mad. I was like, at that moment, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was over it. I was like, the episode could end right now. Like, I wanted to walk out. I was so pissed. In my opinion, Tanjiro, they robbed him of his victory, right? And yeah, but backstory. Now that time has passed and I've cooled down. The backstory was cool. It was good to see his backstory, except for if it was too long. And you should have done it before his head got chopped off, personally, right? But yeah, because so the way he eventually dies, right? He just gives up. So let me get this straight. Your head gets chopped off, and you're still stubborn enough to stay alive. But it isn't until Tanjiro reminds you of your former master that you finally start remembering your past. And in that moment, you remember that you had a love. And this is the whole reason why you started doing this. And in that moment, right. And in that moment, you're like, oh, you're so right. I should just freaking die. And gives up. And he doesn't even burn. He beats
himself up.
Well, and he just, I'm guessing he's probably the first and probably only demon to probably not disintegrate into nothingness. Because he, in the end, I mean, and granted, it's nice in the whole picture of things. But in the end, he kind of like redeems himself and probably ends up going to the positive side of the afterlife for them. I don't know.
Positive side of hell?
Yeah, heaven.
No, he ain't going to heaven. No, that's for sure.
But the Japanese version. Paradise.
I see.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Right, because
he got to meet King Yama.
Yeah, he accepted that he did wrong and he wanted to do better. And his former love kind of like, that's enough, right? Yeah. Like, just come with me. And so she's
also in hell. Yeah, she's killing people.
Horrible.
That'd be funny. That'd be so funny if that was the case.
The worst. That would be the worst thing to find out. But I don't know. That whole ending scene was kind of like, because both Tanjiro and Giyu are beaten to a pulp. Like they have no more ability to fight. They're at the mercy of Akaza. They're at his mercy. Tanjiro's knocked out. He is not conscious at this moment. And then Giyu is like barely holding it together, right?
Yeah. Because he is strong. Giyu is strong, don't get me wrong. He knows all 11 forms of the water Hashira. And it's funny that he doesn't consider himself one. He feels like he robbed his friend Sabito. And dude, he has to understand it is what it is, dude. Just get stronger. Make sure that you don't tarnish the name of the water Hashira. I think that Akaza's backstory was a little bit much. It didn't need to be that long, but I enjoyed the entire backstory because he got to friggin' mop an entire dojo.
That was pretty cool. I do agree.
People. Yeah, that was really cool.
Backstory as its own thing was good.
Yeah.
If you made, I would be pissed if we were watching like the episodes of this and then we had an entire episode of just his backstory. I would be mad.
It'd be 2 episodes.
Yeah, I would be mad because I would be like, I just wasted. It would feel like a filler the whole time.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, and it kind of was, but because it's in a movie form and we've watched so much awesomeness just occur, I was like, okay. But I was, like I said, I was just mad that to me, Tanjiro was robbed of his moment of just like killing this demon, right? So
agreed.
That's just how I felt about it. And so going into the backstory, I was bitter. The backstory is on its own was good, and I thought, I think it's pretty cool because in his backstory, he got tattoos, right, to represent that he's a criminal, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was really awesome. At that moment, I realized it's like, oh, that's why he has tattoos all over his body, right? The black bands, because they represent what he was in the past, which was a criminal, right? And then I started thinking about some of the other demons, and I'm like, do their markings all represent something about their past? And I couldn't think hard enough to really care about it. But his was, I thought that was a nice little touch, that those bands on all over his body, they're not just random markings on him, right? They represented something of his past. So I thought that was cool. Something else that I learned, I didn't know this because I'm not Japanese, and so I don't know about Japanese fireworks. But all of his fighting moves are names of fireworks, Japanese fireworks.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah. That's why they sounded so random to us. But they're actual names of fireworks, and it makes sense because all she ever his love wanted to do was to go see the fireworks, right? Yep. And so it's cool that his punching or his fighting styles, all his moves were named after those kind of things. And if you looked at the art, they were explosive, right? Every time he punched, it was like the coloring around it was like it was fireworks blowing up and whatnot. So I thought that was pretty dope.
That's cool. That makes the fight to me even better.
Yeah.
I mean, like what a great fight that was for.
It was
card.
really good. Till he didn't get killed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was such a good fight for it to end the way it did.
Right. At least he won though. Tanjiro won.
Are you sure?
I think.
In what way did he win? You could say he won overall, sure, because he changed the heart of a person. He did what he did. Well, you know what? I do agree, because Tanjiro's whole idea is that what is he trying to do? What is his premise? His premise is he wants to change his sister back from demon to human.
Yes.
And although his sister hasn't done it yet, he did change a demon into a human through their heart. Mm-hmm. As cheesy as that may sound, he did do it.
Yeah, with the power of friendship and anime.
And family.
Yes. Yeah, no, I absolutely thought that that fight was incredible. The whole film was fantastic. I mean, there was, obviously there are negatives, mostly because of Akaza's lengthy backstory. And then there's, I know there's some Demon Core, incidences where they killed a demon, like Murata's freaking water wheel, I believe it's called. Second form. Yeah. Water breathing second form water wheel. Yeah, and I believe we got to see that, so that's kind of cool to see that the Demon Core also got some powers. They got it like that too, and to grade this film, I would say this film, I'm gonna give it a B. Only because I forgot a lot about the things that was gonna happen, and then when it did happen, when certain scenes like finalized, like, oh, that's right, and I'm like, I wish they did this instead, but you know what I mean, like there were little pieces and stuff like that. The Akaza backstory could have been shorter. It was a little bit longer than it should have been. I did like the part where Tanjiro all of a sudden understood the whole thing about behind bloodlust and attacking with purpose versus not. Like that was cool. I just kind of wished he did it earlier, but it was a pleasant surprise that the film was 2 hours. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a B, because I know that there's gonna be, like, the next movie is probably gonna be my favorite of the three. And yeah, if I cry hard in the second one, it's because then that's the one. That's the one. If it's not in the second one, then it'll be the third. But I believe it's gonna be in the second one. But yeah, I'll give it a B.
All right. I give it a B plus for a lot of the same reasons. Actually, no. I give it an A minus. I give it an A minus. I honestly enjoyed all of it. All of it was really good. I'm surprised it was only 2 hours because it felt like longer, but not in a bad way. It felt longer in a good way. Like I was like, oh my gosh, you're giving us more? Because I kept thinking it was going to end. It was going to end. Like we said earlier today. Oh, it's going to end. It's going to end. But it just kept giving us more and more and more until Akatsuki again with the Akatsuki. Akaza's backstory. Right? It's like, okay, I don't need that much. But until that moment, I loved every second of it. I would have given an A plus if Tanjiro killed Akaza in that moment where
as he should have.
As he should have.
Yeah.
Like that to me was the thing that pissed me off. Of everything that occurred. Not even Shinobu dying pissed me off. That made me sad. But then I'm just like, maybe she did it on purpose because she thinks this is the only way she can beat him. Right. So I'm like, okay, I can understand that. And maybe there's a small part of me that hoping that she's still alive inside of him. I don't think so, but that's the hope. We could all dream. But yeah, when Tanjiro chopped his head off and he didn't die, that was like the moment for me that I'm just like, oh, I hate you so much. I hate you so much for doing this to me. But yeah, A minus for sure. I actually really loved it. I can't wait for the second one. I hope if the second one's going to make you cry, it's probably going to make me cry. It's probably going to be an A plus. Let's not have another 20-minute backstory, please. Keep it at 5.
It might be a long one, but it might be for the good side of the fight.
Somebody, I watched the TikTok, and this person made a good point. In the training arc, that's when you should have done all of the backstories for the Hashiras. Or Hashiro? Hashiro. Because it was a perfect time, because you're learning about the Hashiros. And I'm like, you know what? I don't disagree with that. That would have been a great time to do it. So we could all learn their backstories in that moment.
It'd be random. Oh, you mean for our guys, the good guys?
Yeah, for the good guys.
Because I was just like, can you imagine having a Casa backstory during the training?
No. For the Hashiros, all of their backstories, most of them, would have been a great spot to do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Because it's training, so we're getting to learn the Hashiros, right? But sure. I do have one question. What's number one? The demon, the first demon.
Number one, Upper Moon 1. What about?
He is related to Tanjiro, right? He's like his uncle or something. Yeah. He has the same.
You want me to tell you?
Not really. Maybe off screen. But I keep like, this guy's got to be his uncle. It's better not be his dad because I'll be pissed if it's his dad. I don't think it is though. But I'm like, he's got the same pattern of clothing. He has the same hair color. He learns the same style of fighting. I'm like, it's got to be an uncle or something. It's the only thing. He's got to be from the same tribe.
Find out next time on the next episode of Nerdy Volume Z.
Yeah. That's all I got, people.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up this episode. Follow us on IG, Facebook, X, and TikTok. You can catch all of our video content on YouTube. Please leave a review as it will help our podcast grow. Join our community on Discord. Thanks for hanging out with us, and don't forget to turn it to 11.